She stays outside. I told you 100 times.
Don't put Susie outside. They're spraying. It's gonna give her cancer.
It's not gonna give her cancer. Don't you get environmental on me, Sherry.
Have you listened to the news lately?
So virtual reality is practically totally real, but not.
I'm gonna like somebody.
Where are you going, Gene?
This
is the third night this week, Gene.
Going further.
He's playing around. I can smell it on him.
And I was born to be free.
Can we have a little more butter, please?
Coming up.
I
Came home, I told Earl her whole life could change. Earl tells me to go on a diet.
I'll find a way to keep.
This house is half mine, you know.
Is that a joke?
Lady, I work 16 hours a day to make ends meet. Yeah. I bake all night and work all day.
I thought you made phone calls at night.
I said, Ola, if I have one more beer, I'm gonna have to take a nap. And she says, I wondered what it would take to get you into bed.
Do you think he's attractive?
Oh.
You kissed, you didn't. I want to know the truth. We're just talking.
Sorry.
How long are you gonna do that? Do you know what time it is? To hell with love. To hell with love. Forget what other people do when it comes to me and you. To hell with love.
Did I do something wrong, officer?
Take your sunglasses off, ma'am. One more question. How many clowns can you fit in this car, ma'am?
When it comes to you and me, that's the way it's gonna be. If you share my point of view, I'm the woman made for you. When it comes to push or shove, if you're holding out for love.
These are strange people, honey.
To hell with love.
So Robert Altman was my hero, and he was the person that, like I said, I saw Three Women, and I was like, what is that kind of acting? I've never seen that kind of acting. You know, it was Janice Rule and Sissy Spacek and Shelley Duvall, and I saw this directorial gaze. There was this point of view. For the first time, I sat up and said, somebody is telling me this story. Who is it? And so then I'd managed to mission Nashville and everything. I literally didn't know. I went back and saw all of his movies, and thought, wow. I would love to do that someday. Never imagined that I would be able to work with him. So he saw me in Uncle Vanya when I did it on stage. We workshopped that for 5 years, and he was there in the audience. And I met him for The Player. He didn't cast me. And then out of the blue, he called me and said, I have this part in Shortcuts. They called me at home. I thought someone was prank calling me. I was like, this isn't Bob Altman. But what he did that was so amazing and so unusual, and the reason that scene was arresting is not, I think there's probably an issue with the nudity, but really what it is about the relationship. And in the Raymond Carver short story, a lot of what's happening in that story is internal. You hear what the husband is the narrator, so you hear his feelings, and you sense the intimacy of this relationship. So this was something that we could do cinematically that lets the audience feel what Raymond Carver was giving us in a literary sense. So, but Bob was the kind of director who could do that. I mean, in Three Women too, I was like, what was that about? And he said it was a dream I had, and I thought, yeah, okay. So that's why I felt his presence so sharply, because it literally was his dream. He was like, let me put you in my dream. Bob Altman changed my life. He was the fact that my life intersected with his, that I got to work with him on 2 films. I mean, it was an amazing experience.
Shortcuts, a Robert Altman film, rated R.
Well, it's funny how you said about can you tell with an actor when they've got the scene? It's like, can you tell with a director when they... Bob, it was so clear right away. This man, he knows what he's doing. He was such a master, and I knew it was like an education. I knew to just soak up all of it because he just was so wise. And one of the things is that he came up with a microphone system, like a sound cart, like so all the actors were individually mic'd, which he came up with Nashville, which he wanted to come up with that so that we could overlap. Because a lot of times with film, you have to stop talking. You can't talk over each other, and we don't do that in life. And so Bob created it so that we can. So that extemporaneous feeling is all Bob created that. He created a special arm on the camera so that the camera was finding its own marks. We didn't have to worry about get to that X. So we could move where we wanted to move, talk how we wanted to talk. So right there, you're already comfortable, Wow.
That's unbelievable. So you get to a Robert Altman set, and do you have to adjust to it as an actor, or do you just suddenly feel kind of free?
Well, you know what I felt like with Bob? This is what Bob did the first day with Shortcuts when I showed up. He was like, why don't you go in? And I think Lily Tomlin and Tom Waits are doing something in there. Why don't you go on in there? And I was like, okay. Well, I went in in the middle of an improv. And it's awkward, like sometimes you don't know like what to do when you walk into an improv, like should you join in? Do you just stay who you are? It's very awkward. So I just kind of sort of joined in. Well, then I came out and I saw Bob had the ear headphones on, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He sent me in there on purpose. He wanted to hear what was happening. But he had this thing like, oh, why don't you, sort of like he would create this party and say, come here, you're all invited. But he knew exactly.
Sort of tricking you into sort of thinking that it's your idea to do something, or that it's just a casual, do it or don't do it.
Exactly. But it's benign. It wasn't malevolent. It wasn't like, I'm going to pull strings. It wasn't like that. It
just makes everybody comfortable.
Exactly. And then you relax.
What are the critics saying? Thrilling, a stunning achievement, the movie event of the year, riveting, remarkable, brilliant, sexy, tremendously fun, wonderfully inventive, extraordinary, a masterpiece, a dazzling tapestry, hugely entertaining, roaringly funny, marvelous, a terrific film. I love this movie. 2 very big thumbs up. A marvel of filmmaking, magical, 4 stars, beautiful and intricate. It must be experienced. Clearly the year's best film. It's Robert Altman's Shortcuts, rated R.
It's done by the actors. I do a 2-dimensional sketch with my writer or whatever script I've got, and we know the size of the wall we're going to put the mural on. And then I turn it over to these actors, and they make it 3-dimensional and sometimes 4.
Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance, everybody chat about good movies, chat about good movies, chat about good movies, good movies, good movies. Oh, hello and welcome to the special Saturday night edition of the Good Movie Chat About, where we have good chats about good movies with good guests. I'm Lord Gugu, aka Bobby, and we are here to chat about some good movies. Welcome, and feel free to follow and even subscribe if you like what you see. And if you are watching this later on YouTube, please hit the like button and the subscribe and ding the bell. Yes, please. Okay, tonight. Oh wait, actually, let me make sure that I'm sharing what I need to share with the man. If only there was a smooth way to do this, but there's not. Okay. My guest tonight is our first return guest to the show. Of course, many returns to what was my last show I did? Musical Theater is Good, actually. And he's my good friend, the very successful DC actor seen on stage at Signature Keegan, and most recently in the future Helen Hayes Award-nominated performance and Head Over Heels at Constellation Theater. I'm calling my shot now. I've got money riding on it. It's none other than my son and brother, Harrison Smith. Harrison, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm really glad that we, this kind of came together quickly, but you have been, the reason that we wanted to have you on this show is that you have been having quite a journey with my fellow Robert, my fellow Bob.
Oh, yeah. I've been like deep diving on the Altman movies.
You've been going Altman on Altman. You've been alting on Altman.
Yeah, I'm joining the Altman.
Yeah, we're the ultimate Altman. So what was Nashville? What started you, or were you already had you watched something else? Because you had seen The Player, right? Was that the first?
Yeah,
one
I'd
you
seen The
watched?
Player a couple times, and then
No,
I'd
it's
seen
not-
The Player. I must have turned myself down.
No, you're good. I had it turned up because some of the TV spots were really quiet in the pre-show. You're good.
I had, and I kept seeing Nashville pop up. Nashville. Watched on a whim on 420.
Oh.
And was kind of like.
And Bob is one of the all-time pot smokers, film
Oh,
directors.
you can tell because once he's, it really helps you click in with the vibe of film, the like rhythm of his films. They are like extremely. You follow tangents. You are moving at a slow pace.
That's right.
You got to go alt mode. That's right.
right.
In the chat.
That's right, Benny. We are going alt mode tonight. I'm very excited. Actually, it's funny. There's a clip of well, there's two famous clips of people hating on Robert Altman. One is way more famous, and it's John Carpenter talking mad shit about Robert Altman, because it makes sense because Altman is, which is funny because that's another one of the big time pot smoking directors. So it's funny that they can't get along. Carpenter and
There's something about that guy I just don't like about me.
Well, it's because their approaches are totally different, right? Like, it's actually, I haven't talked about this on the show, but I almost named this program, okay? I had an alternate name. Did I ever tell you about this? It was going to be called Movie Film Cinema. All right? All one
Get
word.
out of here, dude. I'm not even kidding when there is a... Okay, you finish the story, and then I'll tell you.
Well,
I was gonna say that I've been tossing around some potentially like doing something related to film, whether it's like just like running an account or something like that, and one of them was gonna be movies, cinema, and film.
Right. I mean, and it, the funniness of it is, of course, they're synonyms, but there are subtle differences between those words, and I think that great. My favorite films do all three really well, right? They're great on all three levels. And John Carpenter, I think he likes to make movies, even when his like I think like They Live or The Thing have a lot of like deeper stuff in it. He is primarily focused with and the way he describes it, he's like, I want you to feel something, I want you to experience the emotions, but like. He gets really frustrated with Robert Altman because he's like, I can't fucking hear what anyone's saying because they're like talking over each other. And then the other famous clip was Quentin Tarantino talking shit about the original cut before remastering of McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Which
I've seen that clip where he's like, it's like on the first reel is like almost unwatchable for like,
or unlistenable really is because it's like the mix is what's like so bad. And the famous story that has been told is Warren Beatty starring, is a huge star at the time, starring in the movie, basically got it made. At the premiere, like goes up to Robert Altman and is like, it's like 20 minutes into the movie, and he's like, is the whole fucking thing gonna sound like this? And Robert Altman's like, yeah, like excited. But like he's trying to do something. He's trying to like reflect, not just reflect reality, but like create something that feels real and like not, I don't know, packaged and neat like a movie often is.
Well, I was also gonna say that his films are extremely novelistic, right? Like they do unfold like sitting in a chair for a while and reading a book, where like there are times where you feel your attention drift and you need to go back, or you feel yourself kind of getting lulled into one plot and need to remind yourself, to reorient yourself to where you are in the storytelling. But it does all land the plane, and I find like in the same way that like great literature does, when things come together, the emotional hits don't stop. Everything suddenly means everything in these movies.
Well, I will say, like, the thing about Altman is, so we're talking Shortcuts today, and that movie came out in 1993?
93.
Yeah.
93, that's right.
It was his 30th movie, Harrison. like MASH came out in 1970. He made like what, one or two small movies before that. Like that was his 30th movie. He had been the highest high, like most celebrated guy in Hollywood, to like bombing hard, like, you know, Popeye and like stuff, which you know, there's been a reappraisal of Popeye, but at the time it was like, what the hell is this? This is not what people expected out of a Popeye movie. And then in the 80s, he was like filming a lot of plays. He like did a lot of play adaptations. Some were really good, like Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, which I actually haven't seen, but I've heard is really good. And my favorite of that era of plays on film, Secret Honor, which is it's a one-man movie. Philip Baker Hall as Richard Nixon, as he's like considering his legacy and kind of trying to write his memoirs and talking about everybody that fucked him over and like just melting down through the course of the evening. And it's really amazing. But then like the player kind of and some other things started to, his career was on the upswing again. And so I really feel like Shortcuts is like, the player was such a huge hit. He had like a lot of cachet, and also at this point he'd been making movies for like 30 years or whatever, and he just put everything he knew and everything about his process and everything into the movie, and that's why it's my personal favorite Robert Altman.
It feels like a real companion piece or response to Nashville. You know, like I kept thinking about Nashville the whole time. I kept thinking also about how this movie specifically is like has direct lineage surely to Magnolia. Like I have no doubt that Paul Thomas Anderson like saw this movie as a young man in theaters.
Well,
and like got on the typewriter. The timeline lines up just about perfect.
Oh, for sure.
I wrote in my Letterboxd review, like this movie functions as a sequel to Nashville and a prequel to Magnolia at the same time. Like,
sure, except, you know, whereas Magnolia is very like heart so on the sleeve, like in really like emotional, like which I love about Magnolia.
It's a very 29-year-old movie. I think the first time I saw it, I was like, this is the most written by a 29-year-old thing you've ever seen. The scope,
for sure.
The ambition, like as someone who was 29 when I wrote it, I was like, I fucking wish I could, or when I saw it, I was like, I fucking wish I could write something this expansive, emotional.
Well, but even that movie was just like his collection of just like basically little notes and things that he jotted down for like a few years or months or whatever while listening to Amy Mann and stuff. And so like, which is just like, he was directly influenced by Altman for sure. I mean, I was actually I almost played it. There was a Paul Thomas Anderson talking about Robert Altman clip where he was like, Boogie Nights is very much like, and when it came out, it got compared to Nashville, and he's like, it certainly is like taking a lot of what I learned in Nashville.
Use the same structure. I think I saw some clip of him talking about that. Of like, I was watching that movie all the time when I was writing Boogie Nights.
Yeah, and like Boogie Nights is a much more longer stretch of time, whereas Nashville's like just a few days or whatever. But
that's what Magnolia does really seem so from that lineage, because that is essentially one night.
Yeah, and it's intersecting storylines, and you know, it's
this kind of natural. I mean, to just jump right into Shortcuts, like this kind of divine, all these kind of divine coincidences happening. You know, the literally the stuff raining down from the heavens in the beginning of the film and interstitially, and then obviously where the film ends is this kind of Deus Ex Mother Earth, Deus Ex.
Right, which is funny because like the beginning, that's all like chemicals basically that's being sprayed, right? Yeah. It's like the for these med flies or whatever to combat them, and it's so and it is just like the visual of these planes flying over, and they're flying over everything, and so you're able to just drop in all over the map here, and it's just really great. Like the one thing, like the thing that I love, we're just getting right into it on this one because we're also just going to talk Altman in general. We're going to focus in on Shortcuts, but we're going to talk about Altman. So I think,
well, especially because as you said, like if it is this culminating thing of 30 years of work, like there's going to be notes of it, and especially because he is such a generational filmmaker on the generation of filmmakers that you and I grew up watching.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and in general, like he certainly is just in the pantheon. You know, like he is in the pantheon of directors forever. Like if he, you know, if he'd only made one of the great films he did, but he made several, and he also made a lot of films that didn't end up working. But like that, I respect that. I respect that he has his process that he does, that he believes in, that he sticks to. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that he always has a good time making it with the people. And I mean, it's just really awesome.
Yeah, they're all great hangs. All of the movies are such great throw it on and let a part of an afternoon pass.
Yeah, like this is a 3-hour movie that does not feel it for real. Like because it's so engrossing and it just keeps moving and it never stays too long, like in any one place, except with the exception of Jack Lemmon coming in and just knocking it out of the park with his one little.
And
scene.
even that doesn't feel that long.
Right. It's like it's like 6
really
minutes.
Sitting with anybody.
It's like 6 minutes uninterrupted or something, and it feels so long in the movie because it's just him telling everything and just unraveling, and it's one take. And I think I do think they did it like in one take. I don't think they did more than that. Like that's perfect. I mean,
yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah. I will say last night I watched the making of documentary, which is called hang on, I'm gonna open my letter.
Something chocolate.
It's something in ketchup. Something in ketchup. Luck, Trust, and Ketchup. A really feature-length documentary about the making of it. Just really incredible view into the process. He kind of just like runs his film sets like a family, like it's a family like endeavor, and literally his family's involved because his son Stephen Altman is his production designer. I forget when he first became the production designer, but it's for like the latter half of his career. Stephen Altman was, and he was on The Player, and so this was when he'd been working with his dad for a while. It's really funny because in the making of documentary, he's always like, well, that's what Bob likes. Bob likes it like that. And I was like, that's your dad. I was calling my dad Bob.
Hey, Bob, that's what Bob likes. Bob, so one of the things I wrote down is like I love seeing the Altman rep company, and like that his movies have a bit of like in-universe lore. Something that I was thinking about in regards to like Nashville and Elliot Gould, like existing as the actor Elliot Gould in Nashville.
Yes,
they're like talking about Elliot Gould being in, I think, Long By, which might have been 2 years before.
Yeah. Right. And like,
which is very fucking funny and cool.
Well, and what I love about this movie in his filmography is like The Player is so great. I mean, it's such a fantastic like modern noir and satire, and like it is so winking at all this Hollywood stuff, and it had so many Hollywood huge stars that were just wanted to work with Robert Altman, and they do their one scene and they would work at like scale, or a lot of them just donated their salary. They like didn't even take one for their like one, like Julia Roberts at the end or whatever. That is so, but that's about like the head of the studio. It's like in LA, you know, where he lived most of his life, and like he has a lot of LA, you know, Long Goodbye. Like he has a California Split, another one. Don't sleep on California Split. Like he has his filmography is very steeped in LA, and so to go from The Player, which is the top of the top, and this guy, you know, like getting away with literal murder, to sort of like all the way down the socioeconomic strata, like from the anchorman and the doctor to the like
to the makeup artist who literally gets away with fucking murder at the end of their like is an accomplice to getting away with fucking murder.
The pool guy gets away with murder, but again, that pool guy.
Sorry, spoilers for Shortcuts. The 32-year-old.
Hey, movie. On this show we talk about the whole movie. We talk about the whole movie.
Okay, good.
But that is a way that it is very much also like Nashville, right? In that everything kind of converges in this thing that affects everybody. The whole cast is involved, and a sudden shocking act of violence is a part of that as well.
Well, I was going to say the connection of sex, violence, the forgotten person again is like in this, which is in Nashville too. It's like you're following the pool guy in this the whole time,
and you're seeing
like,
in his eyes
function, man,
that he is not doing well. Like you are seeing in his eyes that he's struggling with everything that his life is that he's going through. Like he can't verbalize.
Same with the guy in Nashville who's like roaming around, who like he can't seem to, he's somehow everywhere and like cannot seem to get a good conversation in, or like a good genuine connection off with anybody except his mom on the phone. It's very similar to this, except his wife's on the phone like doing phone sex work, and he is like staring at her, desperate for her to talk to him, and all she wants to do is touch him, right? Like when they get to the point of finally having sex,
she doesn't want to talk.
She's like, I don't want to fucking talk.
Yeah. and like he'll be like, why don't you talk to me that way? And she's like, I talk to them because I don't respect them. That's why I talk to them like that. Like, this is real. Like, she's kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yep.
Jennifer Jason Leigh is so fantastic. She's
hysterical in this too, and heartbreaking, and like
first production detail trivia thing. Robert Altman, he knew he was going to do like she's a phone sex operator, and she'd be taking phone sex calls while doing the diaper and stuff like that. And he like had written that, but he's like,
so fucking funny.
He's like, I'm not going to write the dirty talk for you because it makes me uncomfortable. Like I feel like if I wrote something, you'd get embarrassed trying to say it or whatever. So I'm gonna. He basically was like, you write it, like you can figure it out, and she fucking took the ball and ran with it, Jennifer Jason Leigh, to actually sitting in at like a phone sex hotline headquarters in LA or whatever. And she said it was like 30 women and 2 men. And she just kind of went around like listening in on the conversations and like actually recording them. And then her like end of the conversations are like direct, like what other like her favorites or like some of the highlights of what she heard like other people do. So she was taking like direct phone sex conversations and doing it. And then but the first time that she came into set, she said it, and like she was like, okay, so this is what I have to Robert Altman, and like all the crew was around and stuff too, and she's just kind of reading like what she wrote out, and then she like is like, okay, and that's it, and she like looks up and like it's like silent, everyone's like beat red, or like they're just like, holy fucking shit, what did you just say?
It's extremely funny. All of those sequences, she really does a great job in like making them equally funny and have this kind of tragedy of someone who is like
so bored with like,
so bored. Yeah, like I was gonna say, like has a like interesting or outside of the zeitgeist job, and is like just as miserable as someone in a call center. You know, like that's so interesting for you to say that like she went to a thing with like 30 people and was observing this like basically call center for sex work, and she carries that boredom beautifully.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, she was like fascinated by it, but she's like, I would never actually do that. But it was like sort of, they were like, the girls were great, and she liked hanging with them. But yeah, I mean, and I think that's a good like sort of window into Altman, because he is very much like, obviously he builds these big ensembles, and it really, like, I think the degree to which people think that there's like total ad-libbing and improv is really exaggerated for Altman. I think he does like script things, and then on the set he'll be like, oh, maybe we'll say like any director does, right? Like, oh, try it this way, try that way, and there might be some ad-libbing that gets picked up because of all the crosstalk and like wanting it to feel like natural stuff. But where was I going with this?
But the script is tightly scripted, but
it's ensemble driven, right? Like he is following the actors. He's seeing what the actors are going to do on stage, and sort of what Lily Taylor was saying in the one interview beforehand about like it's not it's engineered in such a way that it's not technical at all for the actors. He wants the actors just come in and start doing the scene. Like he'll be like talking through a scene, and then like I think it was Julianne Moore, it's like, and then all of a sudden you realize you've just rehearsed the whole scene, but you like didn't even realize it, because he was just like, yeah, and then you're gonna come and you're gonna talk here, and then it's just like, and it just feels so casual, and everybody's kind of like talking through like what they're gonna do, and then he's like, okay, great, let's do it and let's shoot it. And then it's like that was the rehearsal, and it's like everybody now feels ownership over like what they're gonna do when they record it. And the coolest way that he does this is that at the start of every day of filming, everyone in the crew and the cast, everyone is invited to come sit in and watch the dailies from the day before. Everyone. He actually like, he's like, please come. He doesn't push it for like actors that are like, I'm weird about like that would affect my performance, or I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, he doesn't push it, but he wants them all to come, and he wants them all to feel like they are invested, like they're watching this come together. And he's like, actors so many times they like don't have any of that feedback of like what they're actually doing
what
they're making it
look like.
Right, like they go to the premiere at the end and they're like, oh, okay, so that's what it all was. And here it's like, not only are you seeing yourself, you're seeing what your other actors and the other technicians are like, what's going into this, and you kind of like are rooting for each other. And that's why like when I talk about him really like creating a family sort of environment, and he really is just like the captain. Like a lot of people refer to him as just like the captain of the ship in the making.
I mean,
of
and he looks like it too.
Yeah, he does look like a bit of a naval. He's like a Captain Crunch guy.
From central casting, he looks like he could like steer a ginormous ship, a boat.
Yeah, that's right. And it's like just I mean, and then you get why actors want to work with him, why they love that. And so like they don't have to worry about stuff like come in and hit your mark. Like the camera is going to adjust to get to the mark. Like the camera is going to move and sort of follow and like find these like things like shooting through a fish tank where it can kind of follow the fish that's moving in the fish tank and then kind of move back, and like it just like and so it's all very tightly like planned and everything, but then he has so much spontaneity like as well on the set and as it's coming together. And there are details that like early in the filming it's like, oh, that's great, let's do that, and then by the end of the movie it's become like a whole thing. Well, I'm sorry, Harrison, I'm talking way too much, but I am going to give hit you with one more production tidbit that Robert Altman loves to talk about. Another one. So the Ann Archer as the clown, I love. She like actually you may have recognized Harrison the when she's getting pulled over by Tim Robbins and she looks out the window. And that was my Twitter avatar for a long time, was Ann Archer dolled up as the clown there. And I really love her in this movie. And the idea of her being a clown was originally Tim Robbins. Early on, when he was one of the first people, I think, like looking at the script, and because of the player, you know, coming off of that. Although this was in development before the player just ended up filming first. And he had the idea of like, you know, what would be great is if there should be, I feel like there should be like a clown. Like, I think that it would be like darkly funny if after, you know, the child death in this movie, and the parents come home, if like the clown for his birthday party arrives to do his birthday party like that day, like, and Altman was like, yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. Like he kind of didn't love the idea, but like the idea of a clown just kind of stuck in his head. And then when they were looking for something for Ann Archer's character to do, they're like, well, she could be like a birthday clown, and then that allows her to go to the bakery and to visit the hospital, and do stuff like that, and like that, because there's a whole other element that we haven't talked about here, Harrison, and that's that these are all adaptations of stories by Raymond Carver, and Raymond Carver was he died very young. He died at 50. But he was very celebrated up until that point as a short story writer and also a novelist. And all of his stories take place where he was based in the Pacific Northwest, and that's kind of where all of his short stories take place. So Robert Altman was like completely transposing these, and he was taking... He was adapting the stories. Like, there's very little in it that are like direct adaptations of the stories. But his the Raymond Carver's widow was very involved with the producing of the movie and the adaptation, and she's interviewed a lot in the making of documentary, and she was like it was actually like made her so much happier that it like Robert Altman was bringing his sensibilities to Raymond Carver, and the ways that like they are kind of, you know, they have a similar worldview or whatever, an approach to storytelling that just it really made a great combination, kind of. And
that's cool.
Raymond,
I've not read any Raymond Carver before.
Well, Raymond Carver also is what we talk about when we talk about love, of course, from Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Oh.
The play that oh god, what's his character's name? What's Michael
remember.
Keaton's character's name? Ah, shit.
Birdman.
Birdman. Well, the play that he's making is an adaptation of a Raymond Carver.
Well, of course, that's the character Birdman in Birdman.
Yeah, I wish I could come up with the character's name. Oh well. I like Birdman. Okay.
The Virtue of Ignorance is his other name, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it called
The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance?
His name is The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Well, and what's funny is also that The Long Goodbye. Which, have you seen The Long Goodbye? That's one you still need to watch?
Yeah, I watched that one.
Okay. That is also...
I liked it very, very, very much.
Yeah, that's an adaptation of a Raymond Chandler story, which also like changes the time period to make it modern. It was used, took place like whatever 40 years or 30 years in the past from when they filmed it. So he kind of modernized it. He sort of tailored it to this very specific LA, like of the 70s. And so there were like the purists that liked that Raymond Chandler's work that were like, what the hell are you doing here? And I think there was some of that same reaction from the literary crowd to Shortcuts. Because they were like, well, these aren't the stories. They're like, I don't know. And there are some things in the movie that are fully invented that like aren't from any Raymond Carver. Like Annie Ross, the singer, and her daughter, played by Laurie Singer from Footloose. She is the cellist. That's not from a Raymond Carver story. It's just kind of a way to create a sort of soundtrack for the whole movie that reflects the feeling of the stories, and that and both the cello and that like sort of laid back blues that Annie Ross sings.
Well, it also is just like a great storyline of
for sure
imagery. Like I found a lot of the like imagery in that storyline specifically. There's a moment, and to go back to how meticulously this is obviously crafted, is that there's a lot of really great connective tissue in this movie, but literally between scenes.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of when she carbon monoxide poisons herself.
Yeah,
in the,
Laurie Singer.
Yeah, in the garage while she's playing the cello, which is a beautiful image in and of itself, and like a really striking.
Yeah, like the smoke just building up as she's just like furiously playing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the smoke filling up the garage around her, and then Altman does the classic Altman slow zoom, except instead of it being on her as she's, sort of succumbing to this, it becomes the smoke in the bar, in the lounge, as her mom is on stage. Just stuff like that is all over this movie that really, really took it from me thinking like, oh, I'm really like digging and vibing with this, to being like, this is like a masterful.
Yeah. And it's like, and there's like, the literal like sort of transition moments like that. There's also just the ways that like the stories reflect each other or have these sort of like recurrences or like things like, the
whole act about sex, right? Like there's a whole section in the towards the back half of the movie where basically every single scene is people talking about hang-ups or indiscretions or
bottomless Julianne Moore.
Yep, the bottomless Julianne Moore scene, which is right around the scene where the pool guy and Jennifer Jason Leigh are having the conversation about her not wanting to talk with him during sex like that.
Yeah, I mean the prevalence of sex and violence and death throughout the stories, like the way that those kind of like rear their heads and complicate things.
And how they meet at the end, literally, right? Like the pool guy wants to fuck that girl and sees her take off her shirt for 2 seconds and kills her.
Yeah, right. Like he's like it's completely entwined into like, and so Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie. It was the first time he had worked with Robert Altman. He's great. I mean, he's really, really great at playing who by Robert Altman's own words, a total sociopath character. Like he is a deeply fucked up guy, but it's like the way that Altman says is like he would never act out on the horrible things that he's constantly saying and the demeaning ways that he talks about women and all these sorts of things. He's just he referred to him as an Iago figure, that he's like on your shoulder, like, and that's what he is with like Chris Penn. He's like, yeah, what do you think? And he's like, so, and to the point where, yeah, when that act of violence happens, he's like, all right, buddy, you go. And he's like, I'm gonna go off with this girl, and like, he like sets it up, like he's the troublemaker, but who's not actually gonna cause the trouble himself. But he is. I mean, it has all of his like charisma. As well as with the edge of like
even his cadences have not. I mean, which is honestly such a beautiful thing to see. To him have such a breadth of career that like he has kind of always really brought that flavor to everything that he's done.
For sure,
and still does.
I will say this definitely, I believe, would be in the era where he is yacked to the gills. Like he is skiing for sure. He
and seems it.
Yes, especially again. This was another thing in the making of documentary where I'm watching it and I'm like, oh buddy, he's like I'm like, oh man, RDJ. Yes. He's like I'm like, okay, dude. But I mean, it's great. Like even that like kind of gives this character even a bit more like edge, and I don't know. It's
authenticity, right? Like,
right. And
it adds to it.
Yeah, it's so all these like characters are like siloed. Another thing I love is like everybody has a counter, for the most part, like has a counterpoint. Like they have a family that they belong to. Like there's a couple of lone wolves, like Lyle Lovett as the baker, who's just great. He's so good. And
he does some really nice, like beautiful stuff in the final act of the movie. He has a really beautiful scene in the final act of the movie with that family.
Right. Like the way they talked about it in the making of that, they're like, this is the family that kind of, they've done everything right? Like they have beaten the final boss, and they're like they're supposed to be living the dream, and like the Andie MacDowell is so super protective of her son, which is why when he gets hit by a car and the woman says, well, let me take you to the hospital or whatever, he says, I don't get in the car with strangers, because like, so it's like he's almost been, and
well, two mistakes. Yeah, they basically make two mistakes, right? The first mistake is that she doesn't trust herself and lets him go, and the second mistake is that
Andie
she
MacDowell
tries to undercut. Sorry, yeah, Andie MacDowell. I'm like, yeah, the lady. That's me talking about any movie. I'm like, yeah, this person was doing this, and then another person.
Excuse me, that's the woman that birthed Margaret Qualley. So we.
I know one of my dad's like true blue celebrity crushes, like
Andie MacDowell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's really funny. So my old roommate Brad, who is just a very silly person, he had an irrational hatred of Andie MacDowell that we never understood. He was like, I fucking hate her, and I'm like, she's like fine. Like I've never been like mad. Like it's the Andie MacDowell in like Multiplicity. Like who cares? Who
cares?
But she's actually, I think she's fantastic in this movie. She might be like one of the best in terms of like the range that she gives, like from that like very like high strung, like overprotective to like that unraveling, and then the rage that she brings to when she confronts Lyle Lovett.
And this moment of just like then allowing that to kind of release in this, there's that very tender scene where he offers the muffins to them at the end,
and he's like baking them. I do think that one ends up like really sweet. I mean, obviously tragic, all the stories are tragic, like,
and that one has a bunch of tonal whips to it too, because that sequence where he gets hit with the car is like ridiculous.
Yes.
When he first gets hit and he just kind of stands up and he's like, no, I'm fine, I'm going home.
Right.
It's like, I did have that sense of dread of like, that kid's probably gonna die, but I also was like, that is hilarious. That is insane.
Well, I was watching actually just a few hours ago some more of the special features on the Criterion. I was watching a conversation between Robert Altman and Tim Robbins from 2004, so just a couple years before Altman died. Tim Robbins observed, because he was like, he had just watched the movie before the filming the conversation to like refresh himself, and he was like, the kid. So first of all, that kid is amazing. I mean, he was a stunt actor's kid, so he knew how to fall. So he really just did that stunt. Like he just fully. I mean, obviously you can tell how they do it. Basically, he just falls, and they, the car stops and they add the thunk. But it's like way short, and it's fine. Who cares?
Oh, he sells it.
Yeah, he totally
really
sells
does
it.
sell it.
You don't think about it really, because he does sell both getting hurt, and then the way that he gets up and he like kind of like slumps over and is like embarrassed as he's walking back home. And Tim Robbins is like, yeah, he's embarrassed because you see how his parents are. He didn't look both ways before crossing the street. He jutted out into the street. He knows it's his fault, the kid, and he knows his parents have told him all the time, look both ways before crossing the street. And it's like, whether that was like Altman's thinking, it's like the fact that, and something that Altman talks about, the magic trick of what he was going for with this movie was that the audience is forced to fill in like a lot. Like you're forced to, like when you pick back up with someone, you kind of are like, oh, well, now they're with this person and blah, blah, blah. And you're kind of filling in the last time that you saw them to now for yourself. And he's like, that's such an active engagement in the movie to be doing that. And it's great. It is wonderful that you can just sort of read into that, the way that the kid is running home as being like all of that sort of character information.
Well, that's the thing, is that once you click into the rhythm of his movies, everything starts to mean everything. Like it is to me the great magic trick of Nashville. Is it's a movie where you're like, where the hell is this going? And then they have the performance on the like the outdoor Opry performance,
right? And
it is like from that
rally and everything, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, well, but from that point, which is about still, there's like an hour left in that film. Like from that point of the movie to the end, it's largely music performances and close-ups on people's face, and it is some of the most compelling and emotional stuff like ever shot.
Right. Well, because the stakes that they put into, music writing and performing, and I mean, what that movie did for Nashville, I mean, but it was also real. I mean, like, and it's only stayed true.
They hung out there.
Like, Nashville is still, like, the country capital, like, the country music capital. Like, that's...
And they originally, I mean, not to make this Nashville...
no, we can go anywhere.
But they, like, they initially really rejected the movie. Like, the city really did not like it. And...
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's, like... not exactly pro-America, and it's, it's very satirical, and has not the rosiest view of patriotism and, Southern kind of living.
That is a very complex movie that also requires you to fill in a lot of gaps for yourself too. To really get the full experience. So that's sort of what triggered that, was you talking about how you have to do that.
For sure. I mean,
loved that element of it in Shortcuts.
So another one, Harrison, that I don't know if you've seen this one yet, and you should. This is another one that to not sleep on. Nashville is a city that is a parody of itself, and that really has only gotten more and more true as you have like fucking Kid Rock's Bar and Grill on the Broadway, and like
every single bar and on the like main strip of Broadway in Nashville. Like I was there like 5 years ago, just about every other bar is Toby Keith's such and such, Keith Urban's Delicious Cattle Grill,
Rascal Flats. Yeah, it's like every country
Rascal Flats Ribs.
Yeah, it is like that. I mean, I went there in 2010 actually for the 4th of July, and I had a great time.
It's a cool city. It is a cool city.
But then I went back when I've been back more recently, like when I went back in 2018 and then again, last year, it's like completely different. Just like that main drag is like, so it's just, yeah. So Nashville is always on that kind of trajectory. Completely different locale, but another excellent Robert Altman movie. This is actually Abby's favorite, and I think maybe my second favorite is Gosford Park.
Okay, yeah.
You
A
gotta watch
movie that was
Gosford
in
Park.
a VHS from every grandparent's basement. I swear to God, like every person's grandparents' house who I ever went in had that VHS. Every Blockbuster, that must have been, if a
It's a
Blockbuster
great
burned
cover.
down, that tape survived.
It's that great cover where it's like the red, and then it's like the butler, and he's like got something behind his back or whatever. And
It was the reason that that must be like one of the last VHS that got printed, because like it was a VHS that I saw everywhere in my life, and was also, it was on the set of the production of Assassins I did. Like that, I have seen that maybe more than any VHS that exists. Just a physical copy of it. I did not know that was an.
I don't know if I've ever seen a VHS of it. I've seen it on DVD. I've seen DVD copies of it, but that movie's really, I think, is very interesting because. So it's like later Altman. I think he only made one, or no, he made like 3 movies after that. He did The Company and then Prairie Home Companion. There may have been one more I'm forgetting, but it's one of his last movies. And the writer is Julian Fellows, and Julian Fellows went on to create. Oh no, what did I just do?
The very famous Downton Abbey.
Yes, he went on to create Downton Abbey. Sorry, I hit a button that froze everything on my computer, but it's all fine now. Yeah, he went on to...
I hit a button that deleted it all.
Yes, I know. I was like, everything's frozen. What do I do?
That's the hotkey for burn it all down.
Exactly. I was like, I found a button I did not know about. Yeah, he went on to create Downton Abbey, and all of the sort of DNA for Downton Abbey is in Gosford Park, down to Maggie Smith being there and just to say, you know, really cutting things about everyone while she's also dependent on, like, her character is great. She was nominated for Academy Award. Maggie Smith was for that, as was Robert Altman for directing for Gosford Park, as was
congratulations,
as was
Mr. Altman.
David Lynch that same year for directing Mulholland Drive, probably his best movie. And what won Best Director that year, Harrison? Who was the superior director to Robert Altman and David Lynch? No, this was before Crash. This was, of course, when you think about Robert Altman and David Lynch, you think, yes, these are good directors, but a superior director is Ron Howard for A Beautiful Mind. That's better.
Let me pitch you with this. Ron Howard, still alive.
That's true. So you're saying he might have one in him. That's like, I mean, there's some Ron Howard movies that are okay. Apollo 13's pretty good, but I wouldn't put him in the same pantheon as. I mean,
no, I was gonna say, how can those guys win? They're freaking dead. Ron Howard's. He won.
That was the award for, is like, who's gonna live the longest, and the Academy got it right.
Yes.
They ended up getting it right.
They got it. Hey, it's the one time the Academy freaking got something right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Beautiful Minds, like, not even good. I mean, I really liked it at the time when I was in high school, and I've like gone back and been like, Jesus, this is ass.
Well, that is a movie you show a 16-year-old, and they're
right.
like, dude, I didn't know you could do that.
Whoa, is that how schizophrenic people see the world?
That was me seeing The Danish Girl in theaters. I was like, yeah, man, this is how it is.
It's real good, and it's like, because it has the patina, it has like the feeling of being really good.
Because you can't really discern. You know, you're like, I can't really discern what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, and Altman was also nominated for Best Director for Short Cuts. He did get the nomination. Did not win. What would have won that year? Is that Kevin Costner, Dancing with Wolves, maybe?
Is that?
Or no, it might...
Kevin Costner, Dancing with Wolves?
It might be even worse than that. It might be Mel Gibson for Braveheart. I'm not sure.
Damn. Yeah, is that?
That's our Academy. Always making the right call. But none of the actors for Short Cuts were nominated, which I think is a mistake. I mean, not for Academy Award. They were nominated for like lots of other awards.
Did they get that SAG Ensemble Award?
So I'll tell you. They let's go to the accolades.
Oh,
here,
the
please.
wiki.
So Venice Film Festival, it did great. It won the Golden Lion. It won everything, and it made this. They did a special Volpe Cup.
I'm seeing
whatever
this.
that means.
I'm seeing this.
And they gave it to the full cast, which when you list it out is enormous. Now, what I think is interesting about the nominations is when they do give individual nominations for acting. Here we have, Independent Spirit Award, Supporting Female, Julianne Moore. Sure, great. National Society of Film Critics, Best Supporting Actress, Madeline Stowe, who won. I don't get that. I mean, I like Madeline Stowe in the movie, but okay. She won over Jennifer Jason Leigh, who was also nominated for New York's Film Critics Circle. And then at the Chicago Film Critics Association, supporting actress Andie MacDowell. So, like, they couldn't decide which of these supporting people to award. And my favorite is Ann Archer, and she didn't get any love. I really love Ann Archer in this movie.
She really did not get a single thing. I'm scrolling through this.
She is so, like, she's my favorite one. Just everything about her character is, like, so clear, like what, like her like inner life and monologue and stuff, and the whole story with her husband Fred Ward when he comes back from fishing, and they've let a dead they went fishing for days while a dead body was just floating in the water by them that they tied so that it wouldn't go away.
She then becomes haunted by that.
And she immediately is like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And it gives way to because there's that great scene of the pictures getting mixed up at the photo development place.
With my dog, gotta love Buck Henry. Buck Henry, always great. Also, Buck Henry, writer of another one of my favorite movies of the '90s, To Die For.
A great movie.
He's a great. Buck Henry's a great writer, performer. Every time he shows up, when he's Liz Lemon's dad on 30 Rock, you know.
Oh yeah.
You can't have a lemon party without Old Dick. That's Buck Henry. So anyway, we love and celebrate Buck Henry, who's it has that very, very funny scene where they swap pictures, and Lily Taylor's pictures are all for the makeup test, like, or quiz that Robert Downey Jr. was doing on her, so she looks like a battered woman, but it's makeup. And then she sees all these pictures of a dead body, and then they both look at each other's license plate numbers and are trying to remember it as they drive away.
Amazing bit. Yeah,
and that's towards the end. That's actually, like, a very funny, like, as you're nearing the end, the characters have already all crossed over so many times at this point. Like, it's just like you're not even batting an eye when they kind of are both at the photo whatever place together, because
also, like, Julianne Moore, like, what a crazy run of directors she went on working with in the 90s. Like, doing this movie with Altman. She does Safe with Todd Haynes, who's one of my other favorite directors. She does Magnolia with PTA in that stretch. I mean, just...
after she does Boogie Nights, which is... And she does Big Lebowski with the Coens. You know, she's all over with great directors.
She's one of my favorite... And she's in... And then after that, I mean, she's one of my favorite actresses of all time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's wonderful. I mean, I've always loved Julianne Moore. I mean, Big Lebowski was really formative for me as a young movie fan, and she is so great in that movie. And it's really funny because I find like Maud Lebowski is like, you know, this character like after she's had a few different like artistic periods, like it's like an evolution of her where she's like, you know, on the zip line nude, like spraying paint or whatever, like Maud Lebowski is when the dude first meets her.
Well, she's sort of like which way she kind of is like the meme of the two paths.
Yeah.
And one in
very nice, like tasteful nudes of women, or like
one is her in Big Lebowski. One is the woman in this becomes the woman from Big Lebowski, or becomes the woman in Safe. Like there's only two options.
Actually, so Julianne Moore, I mean, it's funny you're saying like the run of directors that she's on. Harrison. So the last time that Harrison was on the show, we talked about the great My Dinner with Andre. Let me drop the emotes. You're gonna have to sub if you want to get these emotes. And I do have really great sub alerts and bit alerts. Not to like, be too thirsty
You better
for
fucking
him.
do some bits.
But I did add some really good alerts from the movie. If nobody does it, I'll play them all by the end. But My Dinner with Andre Benjamin, who. Wait, no, Andre Benjamin, not Andre Benjamin, Andre Gregory. Andre Benjamin is from Outcast.
My dinner with Andre 3 Stabs.
My Dinner with Andre 3000. No, Andre Gregory. So he directed Vanya on 42nd Street, which you're familiar with that whole thing. So, after Andre Gregory's wife died, his beloved what was her name? Conchita, like he talks about her a lot in My Dinner with Andre. Basically, Wallace Shawn again and a group of actors of great actors would just meet regularly and read through Uncle Vanya, and it sort of started to develop as like then they would go to this like rundown theater that needed to be renovated or something, and they would perform it on this broken theater, and they would bring like 10 to a dozen people to come watch it eventually. Like, so they would just like have like there would just be like a row of people sitting there with Andre Gregory having this very intimate night, and it's filmed in Andre on Vanya on 42nd Street, which I do own, and Julianne Moore is what's her face, the romantic interest of Vanya.
Oh, I gotta see that.
It's really, really good. Robert Altman saw that production. He went and saw it, and that's when he saw Julianne Moore, and he wanted to work with her, and first auditioned her for The Player, like she said in the interview, and then had this part for her. And but the other thing was that Madeline Stowe was originally supposed to play her part, but Madeline Stowe was like, I can't do that scene. The scene where her pussy out. The scene where her whole pussy out. She put her whole pussy into the movie, and literally. Julianne Moore put her whole pussy into Shortcuts, literally.
For quite some time. Might be the longest scene besides the...
Yes. It
might be the longest single stretch of the movie.
Yeah, it's one of the most, I think, sort of like famous scenes because it's such a good scene. Like that sort of like yelling at each other, like that's like the great kind of like dramatic
also captures
scene.
Something of like, so many movies, people are fighting with each other, couples fight with each other, and it's everything stops, right? And she's blow drying her pants, like she's like, well, she is really throwing it down for him, and.
Yeah, and that's why, like,
still doing her shit.
That's why she was like, at first she was like, I don't know, but then when she read the scene, she was like, no, this is great because, and something Robert Altman talks a lot about is he's like, it's totally non-sexual, and Robert Altman's like, there is a lot of nudity in my movies, but it's like it's mostly in non-sexual context, and in this, it's like, this is a marriage that's been together for some time, or these people know each other really well. So yeah, she's just going to be doing this, but like also for him, and I think it's really interesting that it bothers him that her pussy's out, because it's like you are so like possessive of this woman in this moment right now, or your insecurity about her cheating on you, that like you can't even deal with her like body, like that she has a vagina, that yes, like she's just cleaning her skirt. She can
choose to put out, right? Yeah, that she can choose to literally have exposed,
right, in a not totally non-sexual way, just because she wanted to clean her skirt. Like, why should she put something else on while she does that? Like, yeah, it's a great scene, and I mean.
And similar to Altman, like I also find the movies, like they, similar to novels, become so much richer in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like in discussing the themes or moments, or like what each individual, where those gaps are left, like what people fill in those gaps is so interesting to me. Yeah, you can get into just about any little moment in this movie.
Yeah, like
Hit me.
Well, it's like there's like even like the little characters that are kind of like in the background, like the one like sort of dangerous like sort of gangster character guy that goes to the blues bar and tries to pick up Jennifer Jason Leigh and hire her to give him a blowjob, and like all of and he also has the earlier interaction with Tom Waits, when Tom Waits is trying to tell him to be quiet, and it's like you're hearing all these things about he's like just got out of prison, and there's this whole history with this character that you're just getting a little bit of, and like who's that guy? I don't know, but that's all in the movie. It's like there's so much, like, these are fully complicated individuals, every single one of them. Like, even the people that, you know, maybe you only see for a second. Like Huey Lewis. Who knows what's going on with Huey Lewis? He just pisses in the water. He just gets in the movie.
Yeah, that's a truly
pisses
bizarre
in the water. It is kind of an insane thing that he just whips it. I couldn't even, from the making of, I was actually, because they show that filming in the making of, filming that part. And I couldn't determine if he was actually pissing or if it was like a, you know, squirt gun through a fucking thing that he like was controlling or whatever. That, I don't know. It could have just been, I think he maybe was just really pissing.
Oh, and he has that, and that's not in the same scene where he's getting the dog back, is it? Or where Tim Robbins shows up to get the dog? Is that Huey? Like he's the father.
Right. No, that's right. He comes back. That's right. You're right. Huey Lewis is the father of the guy that he steals the dog from. That's right. Yes, the kid.
Which is fucking super funny and hilarious and insane.
But also, like, again, a great window into his character, because he's like, you can't just fucking come and take my dog. And he's like, what are you going to do? And he's like, he's a cop. And eventually he's just like, well, fuck, I guess you're right. Okay, shit. And it's like a great sort of, I mean, another one of the great accurate portrayals of police is in this movie. Tim Robbins, one of the most detestable characters ever in cinema. So good.
Of course, and all he's doing is basically just being like, well, I have all the no one will ever see.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just kind of watch that play out through like a dude with not even necessarily violent, nefarious, just kind of like shitty dude tendencies, you know? Like you watch somebody like exploit their power in the law to just kind of like be a shitty guy.
Yeah, I mean, like he really like buys into the myth that he's created of himself, kind of, it feels like, where like he is Mr. Cool Guy sleeping with every woman in town, can kind of do whatever and get away with it.
He
but
rides
then,
a fucking police motorcycle,
right.
Idiot. You know, looking like he's fucking James Dean, you know?
But then he gets home and he gets driven crazy by a yappy dog. Like, he can't control that he has a yappy dog until he just does. He just gets rid of the dog. Like, I love that. Or he also kind of reminds me
He just keeps leaving the door open, which is so funny. And she's like, the dog will get out.
Yeah.
And he just walks straight out
like,
the door.
I know, like, that's the whole... Or he specifically puts the dog outside when they're getting sprayed. Because she's like, that's going to be bad for it. He's like, no, it's fine. He, like, wants to kill the dog. He's, like, actively trying to kill the dog.
Well, he also at one point is, like, going around to each of them being like, when the dog goes missing, he's like, you don't want the dog. I don't want the dog. They don't even want the fucking dog.
And they're all crying like, Daddy, Daddy.
No, we do. I do want the dog.
The kids also are really funny. I mean, it reminds me, again, not to always bring everything to 30 Rock, but one of my ultimate underrated 30 Rock characters, Pete Hornberger, and his beleaguered relationship with his wife and children. It really, like, it feels like that, except it's you get like how that is built by the guy's attitude. Like, really, like he has a wonderful family. Like, the kids are shitty because he doesn't like sit down and like deal with and like play with them or like talk to them, engage with them. Like, and you know, and even his wife is like, I think, likes fucking him, and like is like, even though he's an idiot, she kind of doesn't mind, and like he's like so resents her. What a piece of shit.
Well, that whole storyline and a lot of the way that is shot and like tonally handled was reminding me a lot of Happiness.
Mm-hmm.
The Todd Solondz movie. These people who like have this almost sitcomish life and yet cannot, just cannot be.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
cannot be.
That is another one of the like major themes of the movie that Robert Altman talks about in the documentary is, and what he wanted to bring from the Raymond Carver stories is finding the strangeness beneath the banal. That things on their surface, you know, this is a suburban street. This is, you know, just a regular couple. You know, this is two couples having a double date. where they're, oh look, they see Alex Trebek and it's so exciting. And it's
Very funny, actually extremely funny, and that was a great bit.
Yeah, well, in the running, and then that becomes a runner. Like this movie like picks up something, and then there's like Alex Trebek gets mentioned like 10 times. They play Jeopardy at the end, like they're like Alex.
Well, it's such
Trebek
a weird
throughout this
yuppie
movie.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and same with the Trivial Pursuit. Like,
Right.
I love the yuppie satire all over this.
Yeah. Where was I going with this before that though? I need to not do this so much. Completely.
Well, it's hard. There's a lot to talk about. We're talking about
the strangeness
characters.
beneath the banal. That, you know, the diner waitress and all these stuff, like everybody has their inner life in that. When you scratch the surface and you spend some time with these people and you check in with them, you find out that there's actually a lot of dark stuff happening. There's a lot of desire happening. There's a lot of, you know, dreams that aren't fulfilled or whatever.
There's a lot of rage. People are furious. Like, there's this feeling of like everyone is about to fucking snap.
Yeah. And what's funny was, so as they're like interviewing people, and they talk about this theme to Jennifer Jason Leigh about how, you know, it's about finding the strangeness beneath banal, and she like kind of chuckles to herself. She's like, I think in my case it's kind of the banal beneath the strangeness, that like,
yes,
that like she's doing this job that is so, you know, everybody thinks, oh, it's so taboo, and then to her it's the most boring thing in the world, and that's kind of also fun.
Yeah,
it's just, what can we say? It's fun. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it's fun. Two grieving mothers hold their dead children and like moan in agony, like
it's sickly funny. I mean, like,
yes.
There's a lot of really sickly funny
I mean,
stuff.
that is sort of what they were saying with the Andy McDowell. Is that like?
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Vamp.
I will vamp about Andy McDowell, and about being in this upper echelon, having everything, and then just basically them not knowing how to deal with, even though you did everything right and you didn't you make one mistake of telling your son he can sleep off getting hit by a car, and that might be it, to just like have your whole world come crashing down. Like that's, and everything, like, you know, a random occurrence like that, like a car, you know, striking somebody, it just completely turns everything around. Of course, and I'll just keep, I mean, look, don't threaten me with a good time. I'll talk all fucking day. The other side of the car accident, here he's back. Lily Tomlin, who we actually haven't talked much about yet, I think is also, for her, it's like sort of the same thing of like, and the rest of the movie when she talks about it, I mean, it's kind of, again, sickly funny, where she's like, my whole life was almost ruined. I mean, I could have killed that kid, and
yes.
And she doesn't.
And that they're like wishing for death at the end, right? Like,
yeah, and then they want the earthquake to take them. I mean, and
everyone's paradox is on display in this movie. Like,
yes,
I think pretty much everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere to hide. I mean, like, as you just kind of, and it's just spending time with them. And again, you don't spend too long, but the storytelling, the structure of it, the way that it just keeps propelling itself forward through this narrative and these like fascinating characters, and their fuck ups and everything. It's a really, really special thing. A really, really special film.
Oh, and it's also, you know, to get kind of 10,000 foot about it, like the earthquake at the end is like, we've just watched all these people like go through these massive shifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, we haven't, in many of the cases, we have not felt any fallout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we've never really seen what all this change and shifting has meant, and so for that to manifest in like a literal earthquake, like the literal tectonic plates under them shifting to a new place and disrupting everything, it's just another great use of imagery in this movie.
Yeah, and something that I think is funny and unique in the movie as well is, you know, thinking about like Magnolia or other ensemble movies like this, you know, as you spend 3 hours with this characters, you might expect at the end that like they're in a totally different place, and I mean, I guess that is sort of the case for some, like, you know, you've lost your your son or whatever, like. But you hope that, well, they've gotten to a better place, they're going to be okay, maybe, is like sort of what you're thinking. I don't feel that way about any single person in this movie. Like, at the end of it, I'm like, they all might not be okay. Like, they all...
those are
like,
my favorite kind of movies.
Yeah.
I always say my favorite kind of movies are like movies where people get either learn like one thing or like get 1%, like have 1% like impulse to change.
Right.
Like, you don't even need to change. Like, I just like
Exactly.
a movie that ends with like characters that sense that maybe all of this is not, you know, that something needs to change.
Yeah.
That's all.
A movie where, yeah, you're presented with the opportunity to change or whatever, and you look at that and then you say, no, that's still an interesting movie, you know, like, and I mean, I love where the two couples end up with fucking full swap pineapple lifestyle, baby. It seems like at the end there.
Hey, they gonna be heading down to Secrets, baby.
Hey, listen, I am DMing Brian. Like, no promises, but Brian has been DM'd. We'll see. Let's see about getting him on here. But like because both of those couples are like on the brink when they are the whole movie, they're like dreading having to get together. Like, as soon as like they start making plans, they're already the like guys are already mad. Like, why'd you make plans? Why'd you do this? Which is also very relatable, of just being like, sometimes you're, oh yeah, we should get together, and it's like, okay, yeah, next week, and there's whatever. It's like all of a sudden you're like, oh god, I was speaking generally. Like, I don't know.
It's like, oh yeah, like Wednesday at 7 means a lot more than...
Right. And these aren't like, and it's so good about like showing, not telling, their relationship of like, it's not even really clear how they're acquainted. They like ran into I forget if they say like they like met at a party.
I don't
or
recall.
Something.
There's so much information in this
Yeah,
movie.
I can't remember how they like know each other, but you get the sense that that double date to the opera or whatever with with Alex Trebek is like
so good.
or to the symphony, I should say. It is like one of maybe their first double date, and so like they've only know each other a little bit, and so when they finally come together to this dinner party with the two couples, what you find is that they actually hit it off great, because neither couple wants to deal with their own shit, so they each clumb onto, like, the guys immediately hit it off, the girls immediately start doing a tour, and then or they'll talk to the other person, and they just like do anything except deal with their own shit, and then they have the best time. They have the best night of their lives. It looks like truly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like, they rage all night until the sun is up, and they're still going strong, like, second wave.
And there's that hilarious moment where when the earthquake happens and they're getting out it ends and they're getting out the hot tub, and she's talking about, I'm gonna make a ton of eggs. I need to make a ton of eggs.
That's right.
There was a couple little like quotes I pulled that made me laugh. One is like one of the first things said in the movie, which is when they're watching the news anchor on TV in bed.
Bruce Davison,
like, yeah, and she's like, "Do you have to wear your glasses on TV?" that really like tickled. Just was so.
But it's probably to make him seem smarter, because he's doing like one of those like editorials where it's like my thoughts or whatever, and he's just like I mean, it is fun how they establish that those people, because they are just like such aristocrat yuppie kind of couple. So to watch them crash, like, you feel for them, but it is, like you said, funny because they fall so far. And it's like the insult to injury of Lyle Lovett, like, just pestering them with calls because he's mad, and like that whole moment of them coming together and then both all of a sudden seeing each other and why each other was so upset and like what was actually going on is great. It's a good one.
And the fact that he's so that, you know, he the second he shows up, and then when he really needs to show up, when it's like the son is dead, he dips immediately. Like, basically as soon as they declare the son dead, he's got his hat on and he's out the.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, it's It's like, for something that gets so dark, you know, multiple deaths, dead bodies,
cheating. I mean, it's really bleak
murder,
subject matter,
like,
you know?
yeah, it is undeniably a comedy. I mean, you maybe could say a comedy drama, but it is the classic comedy thing of, it's funny because it is so unbelievably, insanely tragic and, like, or insanely violent, or just, like, out of nowhere, like these kind of things that it's just like, and then it just happens and it just keeps going, like the life, like at the end of the movie, like what I'm saying is, you know, they maybe will all break up, these couples, and like,
well, it's a movie where you feel the weight of the fact that, like, all these people are gonna have to go have dinner later.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, which a lot of movies don't have that feeling. Like, have that feeling of the characters having motion prior to us encountering them, and the feeling that the motion that they have will continue past the point where we leave them.
Right. And
that is so rare in movies.
And it's so hard to pull off, to do both, having that, like, open-ended feeling and really knowing, like, having spent so much time with these characters, having a sense of, like, what, at least, like, the trajectory of their lives, or, like, how they're going to keep going into this world that's going to keep going with them, that has that sort of feeling, but also, like, culminates in such a great, satisfying climax as well, of the earthquake, and just happening as all of the conflicts have sort of come to a head as well. It's like, he said it's as good as anything I ever made. I think that's the nicest way that he could say that he thinks him. I don't know if he's ever been quoted as saying it's his best one, but I do think he, like, as they were making it, they were like, this one's good. This is like, he's great at casting. He got the right cast. Is there anybody in the cast that we haven't talked about yet that we need to? Oh, Peter Gallagher.
I mean, listen,
Peter Gallagher, excuse me.
Oh, I was gonna say, Peter Gallagher is looking so. He is looking so good. He is so cool. Yeah, looking good. Hey, there he is.
This is the Gallagher brows.
I
have been thinking about doing a Big Eyebrow Hall of Fame.
Okay.
With Peter Gallagher, myself,
the big brow,
Andrew Garfield, Groucho Marx, you know,
the highbrow ball.
Yeah, the big brow boys.
The big brow.
Elliot Gould, you know. Those are my people.
Amazing! He fucking rocks, dude.
But Peter Gallagher is so funny, and Frances McDormand.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's a murderer's row.
It really is.
You can't go wrong with just about anybody.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Waits we haven't talked too much about, but he's also just, again, like, so believable as this drunken mess of a guy who's just pathetic and just, like, just stumbling over himself at all times. It's like a Barney from Simpsons or something. Like,
well, and someone who is, like, just the whole movie pretty much wishing for death.
Right. Yeah, he's like, I mean, they live in a trailer. Like, that's what I'm talking about, like, the strata of people in this movie. Like, they would probably be at the bottom just by virtue of they live in a trailer. And it's like that whole thing. And
everyone's constantly worried about him. You know, like,
right.
He's someone who, I think just about every person that anytime you see someone interact with them, they're like, are you good?
Well, but he also has had seems like a drunken, like, interaction with Lily Taylor, who is Lily Tomlin's daughter, like, in the past, where he, like, I don't know if he, like, hit on her or something. It's just like his stepdaughter, but, like, she hates him now. She's always talking about how much she hates Earl, and Robert Downey Jr.'s like, hey, what happened? What went on there? And it's like, not in a way where he seems concerned, in a way where he's like, let me know.
Well, doesn't he say, like, when they're filming the thing, doesn't he say,
oh, right,
did Earl do this to you?
Is this what Earl did to you? And he's like, that's when he's like acting out the boom. And he's like, he gets way too into acting out violence against women. I mean, of course, there's also when there's, like, the hot, it might even be Pam Anderson, like the hot,
I was going to say, yeah, he punches Pam Anderson
on the blanket, like, he, like, gives her, like, the elbow to the face. And
Wait, I was also gonna say what's so funny is that was a moment that I clocked of because it's just so fucking weird,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, is this? That was just one of those things where I was like, that's an actor having a weird instinct and doing it, and I don't, you know, you don't teach that. You can't teach that. I was thinking that when I saw that. I was like, you can't teach that. That's a crazy fucking choice.
In the making of Doc, they talk about Robert Downey Jr. says that like he did 2 days on the set of like filming a couple of things, and like that was when I think Robert Altman came to him and he was like, so basically this guy's like a sociopath, huh? And Robert Downey Jr. was like, say no more. Okay. He was just kind of like his eyes like lit up and he's like, let's fucking go. And then like they were just having a blast like for the rest of the movie, just finding times for him to just kind of show he's just like screw loose, like when you can actually find those moments to really like, what a great performance that Robert Downey Jr. gives in this movie.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we actually kind of have hit most of everybody. Let me show these alerts. I think I might do some daytime stream this week because I'm taking off every day this week, so maybe I'll keep these on and maybe we'll eventually see the alerts. But here, I'll show them.
Please.
This was going to be the follow alert if I had any new followers.
Oh, that's a great sequence.
Yeah.
A great sequence.
Okay. This is for new subscribers or any subscribers. And then any bit. Okay, now this one's my favorite. This one is actually my favorite.
On Broadway, I danced for that senator.
So on Broadway, I danced for that senator. I really love.
I also just want to say before as we're getting to the like tail end of things to talk about in this movie, I just want to shout out that this is a movie that's not available for digital purchase or for streaming. And however, Criterion, they have done an absolutely gorgeous job restoring this movie in 4K. The 4K print is incredible.
Is it not available for purchase on streaming even?
I do not think so. I have a pretty dense Apple library, as I know you do too, and I was looking for it to snag and just to have both, and could not find it.
Wow, yeah, it's not.
And I don't think it's on the Prime store. I think it's
been on Criterion Channel in the past. I think that might have been where I watched it. Like for the first time. But yeah, I mean, it's
yes, but kind of has been a notorious film to find. But I do know that with Altman having turned 100 this year, that many cinemas, like local or art house or programs.
Oh right, yeah, you were saying that AFI Silver's doing this, right?
AFI Silver's doing this. The American Cinematheque in LA is doing something to celebrate Altman. I want to say New York Film Forum, but it's another organization. New York is doing something. So a lot of these movies, and I think a 4K print of this is being screened around. So check it out if you have a.
Well, that just means the inevitable Criterion doing their favorite thing that they like to do to fuck me, where they release a 4K of a Criterion that I already have on Blu-ray.
The blue is a 4K print.
Yeah. But it's not a 4K Ultra HD disc.
Disc, yeah. The bits. Yes, I know. But I will say a lot of those prints to Blu-ray.
I mean, no,
it looks pretty amazing. Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
I have that happiness one, and having come off of watched half of it in 480p on YouTube, that Blu-ray looks like a fucking different movie. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, another one that they did this to me on was that I have the Blu-ray of Paris, Texas, and it still looks just stunningly gorgeous, but I still kind of want the 4K. I did do the first time.
I do have that 4K. Maybe I'll bring it over and we can watch
the first time that I have actually bought a 4K that I already owned on Blu-ray was I did buy the 4K of Mishima: Life in 4 Chapters, my favorite movie. So
I did some on things I had non-Criterion editions of. I ditched those in favor of getting some Criterion 4K. It's like No Country. I mean, I have still not watched their transfer of it. And I'm really looking.
I did. It's great. I mean, the thing with the Criterions is it's the special features are genuinely incredible. I mean, have fun with the shortcut special features because they're so good. Definitely watch the making of documentary. It's such a cool window into the whole process, and how he worked. It's what a great guy. What a fascinating guy. And it's also it's also the art of everything and the like essays that are included in the booklet. Like it's all great.
I was going to say, one of the things that I acquired in the last 6 months was the out-of-print Nashville Blu-ray Criterion, which is beautiful and has like
I've only seen like what it looks like, but yeah, like the case and stuff looks incredible.
I'll grab it.
Oh, wow. He's going to flex. He's going to flex on us big time. Here, I'm going to play my raid alert, too, because this didn't actually get to go off last week, but I've kept my raid alert for Sunset Boulevard.
Have a great day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I was playing my raid alert just for fun.
Raid alert.
I didn't get raided. It's just from... Yeah, that's amazing.
And it's a big, like... double has a big essay book. Yeah, it's a beautiful edition.
Yeah, I mean they do such a good job, and Shortcuts is certainly no exception. I mean, I think I actually was this one that I blind bought. I may have blind bought Shortcuts, and just because I knew I liked Altman, and it's the kind of movie that I like just knowing, the big sort of sprawling ensemble thing.
Yep. And knowing that I did the same thing. I was like, I heard it's kind of like Nashville. I had heard like big 22 whatever, and I also love I love yuppie satire. It's like one of my favorite subgenres of movie too. Like if you are trolling on the yuppies,
but it's like but it goes all the way down, right? It's like fully yuppie, like the middle class, lower class, like and that's what's interesting is in a way that it's like not to flatten those differences, like they certainly inform like each of these stories, like where they are socioeconomically, but it's like no matter where you're at, you got your shit that's going on. Like you got like your shit that's buried, that's behind closed doors, that everybody's got their human drama that they're living out.
Yeah.
Well, Harrison, what's next for your human drama that you're living out? Do you have anything you want to plug here as we come to the end?
Listen to Baseball Hat.
Yes, please, everybody.
Eventually soon.
I also want to plug one thing for the 6 people watching right now.
And follow me on Letterboxd.
Follow Harrison on Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd. Join my Discord, please. I post every time I watch a movie and I review it in Letterboxd. I share it in the I Just Watched channel in there.
Hey, listen, I'm hopping in right now to join.
You should already. You're probably already in there.
Grandfathered in.
Because it's the same one I was using back for Musical Theater is Good. Actually, I've just been adding channels.
Oh, come on now.
So you should still be in there. You might even be a mod. But
beautiful.
Actually, hang on. You know what else I'm going to do right now?
Wait. No, I honestly think at one point I cleaned my Discords out and it was not active at the time. But I'm in now. I'm in there.
I was going to make you a mod in my chat here now, but I actually can't figure out how to do it, so I'm not going to bother right now. Anyway, Harrison.
Oh, please, don't dox me.
What a great time. As always, come back. I mean, look, you can come back every month. As far as I'm concerned.
Thanks for having me.
You are always welcome.
You know what I want to talk about with you when you get around to seeing it?
What?
Let's talk about Eddington when you see it.
Oh, I can't wait.
I fucking loved it. I walked out of it
I feel
no
like
idea what to think.
Even if I don't like it or whatever, or like all of it doesn't work for me or whatever, like Ari Aster's the kind of filmmaker where I'm like interested to dig into.
You know what we should do? We should talk about Beau's Afraid on here at some point, because that's an underrated movie that people have not seen. I think it's like one of the best movies of the last decade. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
So I should say
at some point.
Yes. At some point, yes. Because at least for these first several months, I have like parameters that I'm working from. for the movies that we talk about, and one of them is that they have to be at least 15 years old. But
okay.
I do want to do like a modern masterpieces type thing, and Beau is Afraid would be great for that.
Or like underseen modern stuff.
Yes.
That movie, like people.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do modern masterpieces.
Whoever saw that movie first. Like,
yeah, I don't want to do modern masterpieces and have somebody come out here and talk about like Fury Road. It's like, yeah, of course, fucking Fury Road kicks ass. You don't need
we could talk about something. Yeah, we should talk about something like say Babylon, 2023.
We will never talk about fucking Babylon on this fucking show. That's a
Babylon,
goddamn
great
promise.
movie. A lot of characters.
A lot of clips of much better movies at the end of it. So that's something.
Avatar featured.
That's right. Oh, did you show the Avatar trailer? Oh,
I'm seriously gonna go to an IMAX 3D screening of.
I saw this. I might join you.
2.
Let me know when you're going. I might join you because I'm off next week.
Yeah, dude.
I am planning the rest of the year. I'm planning to do like the last 4 months of the year, all special stuff. I'm going to do 2 months of horror movies for September and October. And right now,
if you need someone to talk about House, I would love to talk about House. House is one of my favorite movies of all.
House was probably going to be one of those. I mean, I'm really excited for that. And then what I think I'm going to do November and December is I'm going to do like franchise celebration, and I'm going to watch the first 2 movies of different franchises to talk about the beginnings of franchises to build up to Avatar. So I'm going to talk about Alien and Aliens. I'm talking about Terminator and Terminator. I'm talking about Godfather and Godfather 2. I think I'm going to do maybe even the first 2 Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I don't know yet.
What about Indiana?
Sure, like Indy's great.
I love me some Indy.
Oh yeah, and that's another one if you do the first 2, and so part of
that second one's subversive. That second one is quite subversive and
divisive.
A formative movie for me.
Yes,
like a movie that I saw when I was like probably 9 and melted my fucking brain.
Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid that being my favorite one because it has a kid character. That is great, and Ki-Hu Kwan
body
is
horror
wonderful. Stuff. And having a kid in there is when you're a kid is really fun.
And the body horror stuff, like there's the great scene where he pulls the beating heart out the chest, which is like I remember that searing into my brain, and the scene at the beginning where they're doing Anything Goes is awesome. Sure. Yeah, it rocks.
Although I will say it does have also one of the worst performances in a Steven Spielberg movie from his wife. Who's terrible. She's terrible in that movie. Yeah, so I'm going to celebrate horror and franchises through the rest of the year, and then that's going to start in September. But next week on the Good Movie Chat About, I can't believe it. As long as I've been doing this show, this is going to be the first movie from Hong Kong that we talked about. I don't know how it's taken this long. Ricky-O, The Story of Ricky, with Ricky Peacock. So it's going to be Ricky Fest. And
Triple Rick.
It's all Rickies all the time. That's a really fun movie, by the way, Harrison. It's like a completely ridiculous, over-the-top, like prison break kind of story of a guy that's like the most absurdly violent film I've ever seen in the best way. Like, the guy literally punches through people's like entire limbs, like bones, multiple times in the movie. It's
wild.
It's a wonderful, wonderful film. And I think it's on Criterion. Actually, it was for a while.
All right.
Least. So it's like 90 minutes, and it's so stupid and fun. I love it. So Ricky Peacock, when we were trying to pick a movie, he's like, I don't know, I don't really like actual films. I like to watch like stupid, entertaining movies. And I was like, great. How about
say less?
And then so I threw out a bunch of like Hong Kong comedies like Jackie Chan, Police Story, and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, what about this? Like, have you heard of this Ricky-O, The Story of Ricky? I'm like, perfect. That's the one. That's the one we're doing. That's what we're doing. And he threw out another idea, and I was like, no. The Ricky factor is too good. So look forward to Ricky-O, The Story of Ricky. Now, I'm gonna close this stream, and I'm going to just be for the next 24 hours. Making sure that I have a stream tomorrow night. The Gugu always streams twice, live from Gugu Blanca. Humphrey Bogart will be inhabiting me. Do I even know what the voice is going to be yet? Well, you know, I have written a whole outline. It's kind of insane. I don't know if it's going to be funny. but it's gonna be something. There's a lot I need to figure out in the next 24 hours. So
Well, best of luck.
See how good I do tomorrow, 9 p.m. And yeah, we'll catch you all next time.
It's the Goo Goo Man of the Hour.
It is indeed. There was a whole thing I was gonna play at the end, but it doesn't matter. We're just gonna go. It's
the Goo Goo Man of the Hour.
We're just gonna get out of here. Yes, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.
Bye.
Bye. Toronto, Cannes, Berlin, and Sundance. Everybody chat about good movies. Chat about good movies. Chat about good movies. Good movies. Good movies.